Hey folks, welcome back. If you trade zero DTE setups, if you trade 0 days to expiration setups, which I think you probably do, because who doesn't anymore, I got a couple of thoughts for you on what I'm seeing out there and maybe some things that can prod you along in your thinking to improve your zero DTE results. All right, we wanted to talk about zero DTE trades and setups and just some of the things that I've seen out there. You know, I've traded zero DTE setups, it seems like, for my whole entire life. We started trading zero DTEs as brokers back in 1987. We called zero DTEs in 1987 the third Friday of each month because that's when the monthly expirations would expire, and that's when you could get a zero DTE opportunity. And I still remember the point in time that we got weeklies, and oh my gosh, that was huge. The fact that, you know, every single Friday there was an expiration, and then thrice weeklies, and then dailies, and of course it really has just exploded the whole world of zero DTE trading, depending on what data source you look at or choose to believe. More than half of the daily volume now is zero DTE trading. So it's just been absolutely crazy how popular it has become. You don't need to do anything more than a quick Google search or put in zero DTE in YouTube to pull up and see how many videos address it and talk about it. So it's been very popular. There's been some things, we feel like we are one of the better trading rooms out there in terms of our results with zero DTEs. And there's definitely been some trends or some things that I think we have seen over doing thousands and thousands and thousands of these that maybe we can give you some insight on that might be helpful. So let's talk about some of the things that I'm just noticing out there in terms of trading. So there's a couple of things I think that I've been noticing more and more and more. And one is the frequency of these trades, how frequent an opportunity at bat, so to speak, traders are getting with these. And it was sort of interesting when we went to dailies from the thrice weekly to watch some of these zero DTE only rooms kind of bemoan that fact that now they were going to have to stream every single day instead of 3 days a week. But nevertheless, I think that obviously if it's a strategy, whatever strategy it is, it could be zero DTEs, it could be anything, but if you got a strategy out there that you really love, obviously the more opportunities at bat you get, probably the better off you're going to be. And the thing that I find is that I don't know that there's any place out there that really has the frequency that we have. We will do on average between 10 and 14 zero DTEs every week. We always take at least 2 shots every single day, one at the NDX, one at the SPX, and many times we will double and triple up on that, and some weeks we will trade on Sunday evening with the futures. So we trade a lot with the zero DTEs, and you know, that again, that does a couple of things. I think, number one, it gives you the ability to look at our results from the law of large numbers. You know, we're not looking at a statistical batch of, 50 trades. We're looking at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trades that we do on a yearly basis. Plus the fact that you get, again, more swings at bat and that much more opportunity to make your trades work for you. So, number one, if you're interested in zero DTEs, I would check into that. What system are you using? How much frequency are you getting out of it? The other thing that I'm seeing a lot of lately that is worrisome, I will say, is the trade structure or the approach that individuals are using to build these zero DTEs. And there's a couple of things that I'm seeing. One are butterflies, and the other are low probability iron condors. So 90 delta iron condors. Okay. Now, first of all, why would a trading room use these two different approaches? Well, they're both for the same reason, but they go at it in very different ways. A lot of people that run these zero DTE trading rooms, they want the trade to look impressive. And there's a couple of ways to do that, and that is push the trade to extremes, which is what these two setups do. So butterflies, the interesting thing about a butterfly is that you can truly, and this is of course their claim to fame, but you can truly turn $1 into $10. It really does have the ability to make you 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000% return in a day. And that's what's exciting about them. They're very asymmetric in nature, and you can, again, 10 times your money. The problem with butterflies is that they work about 15 to 20% of the time historically, okay? So there's a couple of things that I will just say, first of all, about butterflies. Number one, it is all, as is so many things in trading, it's about how you approach things, I think, that matter more than what you do. We love butterflies. We trade, a lot of people think that we're anti-butterfly. No, we love butterflies. We trade them every single week. And our claim to fame with trading butterflies is we have never, ever, and never will lose a single penny of our principal in a butterfly trade. Now, before you start yelling at the screen saying that can't be true, let me caveat that by saying that the reason that we never have and never will lose any of our principal in a butterfly setup is because we never put any in. We never put any of our capital, our principal, into a butterfly setup. We only put partial profits from our previous day's results with our dynamically traded zero DTE. Okay, so let's say that we make $600-700 on our dynamically traded zero DTE. Yeah, we'll take 200 of that and throw it into a butterfly. If it hits, you turn 200 into maybe 2,000. If it doesn't, the worst case scenario with our butterflies is that it diminishes your rate of return, not that it wipes it out or you ever lose any money. The only thing we risk in butterflies are profits, okay? So how you approach a butterfly, if you choose to do butterflies, how you approach them, I think, is critical. But the other biggest, I think the biggest challenge with butterflies, there's nobody that I have ever met in decades and decades and decades of doing this that is making a decent living trading butterflies, except for the people that are charging money for trading rooms that provide the butterflies. They're doing okay. But nobody is making a substantive living from butterflies. And of course, it's easy to understand why that never has been the case and never ever will mathematically be the case. You're trading a setup that works 15 to 20% of the time. Are you really willing to put 50 grand in a trade setup that works 15% of the time? Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to anybody. That's why you will see rooms that trade butterflies, they never talk about the fact that they made $200 today, because that's not impressive. They talk about the fact that they made 300%, 400%, 500% on return on your money. They only talk in percentage rates of return, because sometimes a 300% return is $120. You're never, ever going to make any real money with butterflies. So why do we trade them then? Well, number one, we never risk any of our principal in them, so it doesn't really matter. Number two, they're part of a overall dynamic model portfolio. And that's really, I think, my biggest problem with these butterfly trading rooms, is that that's all they provide. They're not trading rooms, they're gambling rooms. Okay, they're a place where people go purchase a butterfly and gamble on a directional move in the marketplace. If your trade needs to move in the direction that you want it to in order to make money, that's gambling. That's not trading. That's gambling. Okay, so these are, again, they're fine, but number one, they should only be done with profits from properly structured 0DTs. Number two, nobody worth their salt is going to tell you that any one individual strategy is so darn good that you don't need any others. Just take your whole life savings and put it in this. That's not a good use of your time. It's not a good use of your energy. It's not a good use of your subscription dollars to be in a trading room that only provides butterflies. Okay. The other structure that we see out there a lot are these low probability iron condors. If you guys understand iron condors, you know you can statistically build an iron condor at 90% probabilities of success. 95% probabilities of success. You can build 3 sigma legs, and that can be done. And mathematically, that's correct. You also probably understand that there is no way you're ever going to get positive expectancy with those setups. And in fact, this setup that seems so safe, something that's, a 90 to 95% probability of success trade, probably the riskiest trade out there, because it doesn't have positive expectancy. And for every $500 you're trying to earn, you're risking $10,000 to get it. Okay. The other thing that we're noticing out there, and I sort of touched on it a little bit here with all of these people hawking their butterfly trades, and that's earnings potential. So I'll say it once, I'll say it again in every video I ever do. There's no guarantees in life, no guarantees in the marketplace. But today was September 28th. I made $1,280 today profit in my 0DTE. That's a good day. We're trying to make more than $1,000 a day, but that's not some crazy out of left field day where we're all jumping up and down going, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay. We don't have successes every day. There's no guarantees, but I will tell you that we can see with a credit trade, you know, before you even put a trade on, what the potential of our trades are. And the potential for our 0DTEs is $1,000 of profit a day. $1,000+ of profit a day. Now again, there's no guarantees with that, and it's up to us as individual traders to make sure that we execute on that opportunity. But that's what the profit potential is. If you want to ask somebody what the profit potential of a butterfly or a low probability iron condor are, they don't have the ability to tell you that, because you have to guess. You would have to guess at what the market is going to do, whereas we trade dynamically. Okay, and then the other thing I've also already sort of touched on, and that's that you shouldn't be trading a standalone setup. We have what we call a model portfolio, and it's very, I think, key. Portfolio. Really yesterday, I'm looking at my model portfolio here. Really yesterday would have been a better example. I can give you our numbers. My numbers from yesterday, down $9,727. That was my result yesterday. Down $97.27 yesterday. Okay. Oil and bonds primarily were what drug me down. Made $13,315 profit today. Surprise, surprise, oil and bonds are what actually helped me out a bit today. But the point is that we're on a Thursday. Got one more trading day this week. This week's not been a good week. Any day you're down $9,700, that's not a good week. And I'll still have a good shot at making 10 grand net return for the week. We focus on a model portfolio that has proper diversification with non-equity correlated underlying stretched out over a 0DTE to a year's long expiration with all different deltas that are bullish, bearish, and neutral in nature and structure, with underlyings that are non-equity correlated like oil, nat gas, bonds, corn, wheat, soybeans, yen. It just goes on and on and on. So it's about this at the end of the day. It's about your net lick. What is your account value doing? It's great to be able to say that you made a 400% return on a butterfly. what did that do to your bottom line? Because this is ultimately what you're going to pay your bills with, not this. Okay? So those are just some things that I've seen out there, guys. Hopefully they can help you find what it is that you're looking for with a 0DTE. I know that there's a lot of people excited to trade it, and then they ultimately get disappointed. So anyway, hopefully that helps. If you want to come trade with us, we'd love to have you. If you're serious about trading, you can go to tradelivewithus.com. Best online trading group out there. I think that we have an amazing group of people. If for whatever reason you're not ready to jump in a live training situation, but you need some help, you can ask me anything about trading at askyourtradingquestions.com. And if you need to contact me, there's all my contact information at scottstewartcontacts.com. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you. I hope you're having a good trading week out there. It's been a little challenging for us this week, but it looks like, knock on wood, one more day to go, that we should have a solid end to the week. So thank you, guys, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.